Hello ladies and gentlemen, thewierdguy here and welcome to another video. We're most likely going to get soon enough an official gameplay release for Raven, but until then, let's together form some expectations, and those expectations will be based on two things. The gameplay of Raven in Injustice Gods Among Us, both in the mobile version and in the PC version. And especially in the mobile version because as we know for a fact, for the most part, at the very least in terms of animation, if not abilities, all the characters in Injustice 2 that were in Injustice Gods Among Us have very similar attack patterns. Just if you play the both of the games, you'll be fully aware of that, but it's just recycled and upgraded content. And that's not necessarily bad, since that's what the PC games did, and in the story, the Raven in Injustice Gods Among Us is the same Raven in Injustice 2. So no problems with that, but we'll most likely get something very similar to what we had in Injustice Gods Among Us in terms of how it looks and in terms of the animations. Though it might be changed a little bit, because for example in Injustice Gods Among Us for characters like Harley, let's say, it would have been very easy to make the transition into the combo chaining system of Injustice 2 Mobile, but Raven has got attacks that are a little bit weird, and I don't really see how they would be able to implement them in this form from Injustice Gods Among Us to Injustice 2, so that's something that might need changing a bit. Now, let's start off with the passive. First of all, her passive in Injustice Gods Among Us, except for one of the Ravens, I think, and that specific Raven is going to have some synergy with some specific teams, but the most spread out passive is going to be the fact that once she reaches, let's say, 20% health, not sure if that's the exact value, but somewhere around that, she's going to swap the health with the enemy that she's fighting. And that can be very useful in Just Gods Among Us because over there you got survival modes and stuff like that, and you need your characters very healthy, and that's going to be very powerful. But in Just Mobile, we don't really give a crap about that, to be honest. We got similar passive on Sorcerer Dr. Fate, though that's on super move, and is not a health swap, and Raven can do it 3 times as far as I'm aware. So yeah, if they just copy paste that passive of health swap, like look, I don't mind it if they add something on top of it. I do not mind it if they add something on top of it, but if that's her main thing, and it's gonna suck, because that doesn't work against bosses, and it's not gonna work against bosses in Just 2. Let's be real on that one. And yeah, it's not gonna be great if they do that. It's going to be yet another Arena and Champions Arena focused character. Now in terms of her abilities, the first ability, she just closes people a little, uses her close to inflict some damage, and it doesn't seem to be a particularly great ability. I mean, it doesn't do anything, and it's very similar to, I think, Gold Catwoman, like Master Thief Catwoman has a special too where she swings around with the claws. It's something very similar looking to that. And I mean, they can just put that into Injustice 2, just add her some effect, because in Injustice Gods Among Us it doesn't have any particular effect. So maybe, let's say, add an armor pierce effect to it would be the very least you could do. Maybe add a defense reduction effect. If you add a defense reduction effect, like a permanent one, like the Superman Special 2 on that special, it's gonna be great, and it's gonna make her useful no matter what you do with her other than that. Like, look, if that ability removes 30% of the enemy's defense, there we go, end of the story. It's a useful character, that's all you need to do. Now, the second ability is going to have 2 parts to it. In Injustice Gods Among Us, it's going to be first a part where you need to target something, and then it's going to fire something, and then you're going to further shoot with something else. I mean, it's hard to explain, you're seeing it on the screen right now, and I'm not the best Injustice Gods Among Us player, by the way. But yeah, that's pretty much 2 instances of damage. They don't do crap other than damage. And yet again, an easy way to go around it would be to add armor pierce to it, and maybe make it so that the second part, the one that is the blast, will tag out the opponent. Now for the special tree, we do not have a special tree necessarily yet, or we don't know what they might or might not convert into a special tree. So we have no idea. We'll go back to that in a second. The super move, it's not gonna matter that much. It's pretty much going to get the character into another dimension where it gets slapped around by a few demons, and Trigon will shoot some beams through his eyes towards it. And that's pretty much the super move. But yeah, regarding the special tree, um, something that would be very interesting, though I'm not sure we had it previously in just mobile. I saw some other people also mention this. It would be great, like she would have two abilities in special 1 and special 2. That would be for Raven, and then the special tree would be swapping places with Trigon. Trigon being her father, the demon, the huge red demon, the devil, pretty much of DC universe. So yeah, you press the special tree to swap with Trigon, and let's say for 30 seconds of the for the next 30 seconds, instead of playing with Raven, you're going to play with Trigon, and you're going to get new special 1 and special 2 for using Trigon. And while being in Trigon form, you're going to have like constant health regeneration, you're going to inflict burning with basic attacks on enemies, and you're going to have some very damage dealing special 1s and special 2s. Like, it would be very interesting that way, so that, let's say, Raven would be herself a very Arena and Champions Arena focused character, but then when you swap around to Trigon, Trigon would be a very damage dealing oriented character that would do amazing in raids and soul raids. That would indeed be amazing to see. Also, there in regards to the Gods Among Us gameplay, there's a little bit of telekinesis, just throwing characters around. And honestly, I don't really want to see any more of that. Like, they tried something similar with Martian Manhunter, and it was just tagging out characters and keeping characters tagged in. Yeah, great stuff, my dude. But yeah, I wouldn't mind the special with her just throwing the enemy around all the way to the other corner of the map. And there's also some flying parts to it. There's also some parts where she yeets beams, dark energy beams out of the ground and knocks the enemy up. That would also be something that I would be looking forward to see. But look, there's something that she has to be. I mean, there's two things. If she's a tank or a damage dealer, but only for Arena and Champions Arena, she's gonna be trash and you're not gonna make your money's worth out of her. But there's two roles that she can fill. She can be a damage dealer for raids and soul raids, because we don't have much diversity nowadays. And at the same time, she could be a support character that would support your team and make them more viable for raids and soul raids. And I think the role of support character would be not necessarily better fitted for Raven, but more needed in the game, because we're really lacking support characters right now. We got very few of them. But yeah, with all that out of the way, this is kind of my gameplay prediction for Raven. Again, we're going to get some Raven gameplay reveal soon enough, and we'll talk about that when it comes out. But until then, I just wanted to leave my thoughts here, create some expectations, but look, hear me on this one. If she's only focused around Arena and Champions Arena, it's gonna be crap. So hopefully, it's going to be good for raids and soul raids. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this, and what you think will happen. And with all that out of the way, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out though. Bye!